The air was cool and heavy with the smell of autumn leaves as four friends, Jessica, Ryan, Megan, and Tyler, drove through the winding back roads of Kentucky, chasing one last adventure before the season turned. Their laughter filled the car, music pulsing from the speakers, headlights slicing through the dark as the GPS lost signal miles ago. They were heading toward a Halloween attraction someone had mentioned online, Talon Falls Scream Park, supposedly the scariest in the state. What they didn't know was that behind the facade of fun and screams waited something far more real than they could ever imagine. The night stretched long, and the road narrowed through thick woods until they saw the flickering glow of red lights and a hand-painted sign pointing toward Talon Falls. They parked beside other cars, but the silence felt wrong. No music, no laughter, just the hum of a generator somewhere in the distance. Jessica hesitated, saying maybe they should turn back, but Ryan joked that she'd come all this way just to chicken out. So they followed the path marked by torches into a clearing where an old barn stood, covered in fake cobwebs and bloodied props. A ticket booth waited, manned by a man with a blank, cold stare who barely moved as he handed them wristbands. No refunds. No exits until the end, he said flatly. Inside the barn, they were met with screams, at first fake ones, then faintly real ones that bled through the walls. Megan laughed nervously, whispering how realistic it sounded, while Tyler filmed everything for his vlog. The group followed a maze lined with hanging corpses and chains, mannequins twitching under strobe lights. But as they turned a corner, the stench of rot hit them hard. Jessica gagged. One of the props twitched again, this time clearly breathing. She stepped closer and realized it wasn't a mannequin at all. Its eyes fluttered open, and a hoarse voice croaked, "Help me." Before she could scream, a trap door slammed behind them, locking them inside. Panic erupted. Tyler pounded on the door, but the sound of footsteps drowned his shouts. A tall figure in a blood-stained apron stepped from the shadows, holding what looked like a surgical drill. The group froze. The man tilted his head and whispered through his cracked mask, "Welcome to the show." They ran. The maze twisted endlessly, lit by flickering bulbs and streaked with real blood now. Ryan pulled Jessica along while Megan stumbled behind, crying that this wasn't part of the attraction. Tyler dropped his camera, catching a glimpse of someone's body, half covered, half missing. They burst into another room where several people sat chained to chairs, silent and pale. A screen flickered to life on the wall showing live footage of them. Each step they'd taken broadcasted by hidden cameras. "You are the attraction," a voice boomed. Jessica's heart pounded as she realized people outside were probably watching this, thinking it was fake. Ryan grabbed a crowbar from the floor and pried open a side door leading into the woods. They sprinted through the darkness, branches cutting their faces, until they reached a fence topped with barbed wire. Behind them, a siren wailed. Megan climbed first but slipped, slicing her arm. Jessica tried to pull her up, whispering encouragement through sobs, but then spotlights turned on. Men in masks emerged from the trees, closing in. Ryan hurled a rock at one of them and shouted for them to run, drawing attention away. They bolted deeper into the woods, reaching a small shack. Inside, they found maps, blood-soaked clothes, and dozens of ID cards. Jessica picked one up. It belonged to a missing college student from months ago. The realization hit. No one ever left Talon Falls. The park wasn't pretending to kill people. It was killing them. Megan's sobs broke the silence as the sound of an engine revved outside. They peeked through a crack and saw an old pickup truck circling. Ryan burst in moments later, limping, saying he'd hit one of them, but saw more coming. They barricaded the door with crates, whispering plans to wait till dawn. Hours dragged. At some point, Megan disappeared. 1 second she was there, curled in a corner. The next, the back door creaked open, and her scream echoed outside. Jessica ran after her, ignoring Ryan's pleas. In the clearing, she saw Megan pinned to the ground by two figures, their faces hidden behind animal masks. Jessica lunged with a rusted tool she'd grabbed, but one swung around, knocking her to the dirt. The cold barrel of a camera pressed against her face. One of them was filming. "Smile for the audience," he hissed. She swung wildly, connecting with flesh. The man screamed, and she scrambled away, dragging Megan into the trees. Behind them, laughter followed, cruel, Mechanical laughter piped through speakers hanging from the branches. As dawn neared, fog blanketed the woods. Jessica could barely see a few feet ahead. Megan was silent now, too weak to move. Jessica whispered that she'd get them out, that someone had to be nearby, but inside she knew it was a lie. She stumbled onto a dirt road and saw headlights, a ranger's truck. Relief flooded her, and she waved frantically. The truck stopped, the door opened, and a man stepped out. It was the ticket booth attendant. He smiled, tipping his hat. "Congratulations," he said softly. "You made it to the finale." Jessica backed away as other trucks appeared, men climbing out, dragging bodies. The fake police tape around the area fluttered, marked Talon Falls film set. Authorized personnel only. She screamed that they weren't actors, but no one listened. Cameras rolled, capturing her terror for another night's show. Her final screams were cut into the trailer's soundtrack. Outside, new visitors arrived, laughing as they bought tickets, unaware that the attractions of Talon Falls were rebuilt nightly with fresh victims, each performance ending the same, with genuine terror preserved on film. And somewhere beneath the park, Jessica's faint voice still echoed in the pipes, begging the next group not to go inside. But the music, the lights, and the laughter always drowned her out, and the nightmare of Talon Falls began again, ready for its next audience.